Strength begins in the shadows of your own mind, not in the gym, not in the battlefield, not in the praise of others. It starts in the quiet corner where your thoughts sharpen themselves into weapons. If you want to rise, you must first educate your mind to kill the weak habits that keep you chained. Weak habits whisper comfort. They tell you to rest when you should rise. They tell you to wait when you should act. They make you predictable, slow, and easily controlled by the world. A Machiavellian mind rejects that softness. It studies its impulses like an enemy. It watches, analyzes, and eliminates whatever does not serve power. You must become the architect of your inner warfare. Train your discipline the way a king trains his army, ruthless, precise, unshakable. Every hesitation, every excuse, every distraction must be executed without negotiation. Comment below, I kill weakness before it kills me. This is how untouchable men are made, not by chance, but by the slow, cold, deliberate murder of every habit that weakens the throne they are building. Educate your mind to rule yourself first. The world comes later. Comment, my mind serves power. Part 1. The discipline that rewrites your destiny. Before you conquer anything in this world, you must conquer the battlefield inside your own skull. Weak habits don't die on their own. They evolve, they disguise themselves, they return stronger every time you let them live. That is why a Machiavellian mind does not negotiate with weakness. It studies it, exposes it, and eliminates it with cold precision. Discipline is not motivation. Discipline is execution. Discipline is the silent force that separates the man who dreams from the man who becomes. And if you want to rewrite your destiny, you must train your discipline like a blade, sharpened daily, tested daily, feared by your former self. The truth is simple. You are not fighting the world. You are fighting the version of you that refuses to grow. The version of you that clings to comfort. The version of you that sabotages your future because it fears the pressure required to rise. That version must die, without emotion, without hesitation, without ceremony. Comment below. I kill the weaker version of me. A powerful mind is not built through ease. It is forged by repetition, sacrifice, and ruthless self-correction. Every morning you choose who commands your life, the king or the coward, the strategist or the slave, the disciplined man or the distracted child. Make the decision that strengthens your throne, not the one that feeds your excuses. Comment, I rise by discipline alone. Educate your mind to think like a ruler, not a victim. Train yourself to do what others avoid. Build habits that terrify your old patterns. This is how you turn your destiny into something unbreakable. Comment below, my discipline shapes my power. Part 2. The strategy of destroying your own limitations. Every man carries two lives within him, the one he lives and the one he is capable of living. The gap between the two is carved by weak habits, those silent, invisible chains that feel harmless until you realize they have stolen years from you. A Machiavellian mind does not tolerate this theft. It understands that every limitation you keep is a limitation you chose, and every limitation you destroy is a throne you build. The first step is awareness. The second is execution. The third is replacing weakness with structured, deliberate routines that bend your future in your favor. Weak habits depend on your blindness. They thrive in the parts of your life you refuse to inspect. So, turn your gaze inward with the coldness of a strategist. Observe what slows you. Observe what drains you. Observe what excuses you repeat so often you started believing them. Comment, I expose my limitations without mercy. Your power begins with clarity. Once you see your patterns, you can break them. But breaking is not enough. You must replace. Replace laziness with repetition. Replace distraction with direction. Replace emotional reactions with calculated responses. Replace comfort with controlled pressure. This is how powerful men are sculpted, not in moments of glory, but in the quiet grind when no one is watching. Weak men do what feels good. Strong men do what builds power. And the man you are becoming, he does what aligns with the empire he intends to rule. Comment below. I choose growth over comfort. Understand this. Limitation is not an obstacle. It is raw material. Something to be reshaped, hammered, and reforged until it becomes strength. You evolve by destroying your old operating system and installing a new one built on clarity, discipline, and tactical self-control. A Machiavellian mind uses pain as information, pressure as fuel, failure as data. Nothing is wasted, everything is weaponized. Comment: my mind is my strongest weapon. When you destroy your limitations, you do more than rise. You become untouchable. You create a version of yourself that cannot be manipulated by weakness, comfort, or distraction. You build a man the world is forced to respect. And from this point forward, every habit you adopt must serve your throne. Every action must serve your strategy. Every thought must serve your future. Part 3. The art of reprogramming your mind for power. You cannot build a powerful life with a weak mental operating system. Most people try to change their habits without changing the mind that created those habits, and that is why they fail. A Machiavellian mind understands a deeper truth. Before you change your actions, you must reprogram the throne from which those actions are commanded. Your mind is not a passive observer. It is the general of your inner army. If the general is weak, the army collapses. If the general is disciplined, strategic, and relentless, the army becomes unstoppable. So the first step toward power is not doing more. It is thinking differently. You must train your mind to reject anything that dilutes your potential. Weak habits only survive when your thoughts remain unguarded. Guard them like a fortress. Comment: my mind obeys my mission. Reprogramming begins with subtraction. Remove the noise. Remove the impulses that lead nowhere. Remove the fantasy of overnight success. Remove the illusion that comfort will ever reward you. Once the unnecessary is erased, the essential becomes visible. You will see exactly which habits serve you and which ones are assassinating your future. Then you replace. Replace instant gratification with long-term strategy. Replace emotional reactions with cold analysis. Replace procrastination with intentional execution. Replace fear with preparation. When you do this consistently, your mind becomes a machine, efficient, sharp, and dangerous in the best way. It begins to crave structure. It begins to crave discipline. It begins to crave the life you are building rather than the distractions that once controlled you. Comment: I rewrite my mind for power. Understand this. The brain adapts to whatever you repeat. If you repeat weakness, you become weak. If you repeat strength, you become strong. There is no mystery. Every habit is a vote for the man you are becoming. Every routine either elevates you or erases you. So ask yourself, which man are you voting for today? The one who hides behind excuses, or the one who leads himself toward power with ruthless clarity? A Machiavellian mind chooses the second every time. It does not wait for motivation. It does not negotiate with tiredness. It does not collapse under pressure. It commands itself with the authority of a ruler shaping his own kingdom. Comment below: I rule my mind, nothing else. As you reprogram your mind, you will notice something profound. The world becomes quieter. Distractions lose their grip. Weak habits lose their influence. The people who once influenced you no longer have access to your inner command center. You become harder to manipulate, harder to discourage, harder to break. This is the beginning of becoming untouchable. And remember, an untouchable man is not built by accident. He is built through deliberate mental engineering, day after day, without apology. Comment: I build an unbreakable mind. Part 4. The executioner's mindset. Killing weak habits before they grow. Weak habits don't destroy you all at once. They erode you quietly, slowly, invisibly. They disguise themselves as, just this once, I'll start tomorrow, I deserve a break. And before you realize it, they've built a prison around your potential. A Machiavellian mind sees this trap long before it closes. It understands that weakness enters your life the same way an enemy infiltrates a kingdom, through small, unguarded openings. If you want power, you must seal those openings with discipline so uncompromising it becomes a weapon. Weak habits survive only when you allow them to breathe, so suffocate them. Suffocate them with structure, with intention, with relentless consistency. Comment: I starve my weakness to death. Execution is where most men fail. They know what to do. They know what to avoid. They know what must die. But knowing is not power. Execution is. Execution is the final blow that transforms intention into identity. Every time you act, you carve a new shape into your character. Every time you delay, you strengthen the chains that bind you. A Machiavellian strategist does not delay, he strikes. He treats every moment as an opportunity to assert dominance over his lesser self. Weak habits depend on hesitation. They feed on emotional impulses. They grow in the dark corners of your day where you allow indiscipline to live. Shine a cold, ruthless light into those corners and watch how quickly excuses crumble. Comment: I execute without hesitation. To kill weak habits, you must attack them at their root. Your environment, your routines, your triggers. Adjust your surroundings so temptation has no place to hide. Create routines that leave no room for randomness. Build triggers that push you toward discipline, not distraction. This is psychological warfare against the parts of you that want to remain average. There is nothing personal about it. It is strategy, pure and simple. Power is earned by the man who eliminates every behavior that steals his momentum. Weak habits collapse when confronted by a mind that refuses to be manipulated by comfort. Comment: my habits obey my purpose. Understand something vital. Every time you kill a weak habit, you reinforce a strong one. You build a layer of resilience. You sharpen the edge of your discipline. You become a man whose actions align with his ambitions. This is how you rise, not through sudden transformation, but through repeated executions of the old version of yourself. Over and over, without mercy, without apology. Weakness will return, but so will you, stronger each time, armed with greater clarity and deeper resolve. And eventually, it will break. Eventually, it will kneel. Eventually, it will recognize that it no longer owns you. Comment: I evolve through elimination. Part 5. The War Against Comfort and the Rise of Mental Fortitude. Comfort is the most seductive enemy you will ever face. It doesn't shout, it doesn't threaten. It whispers, it invites, it promises relief while silently stealing your ambition. Comfort makes men soft, predictable, and powerless. A Machiavellian mind knows that comfort is the assassin of greatness, the silent poison that kills potential without leaving a mark. If you want to rise above the ordinary, you must declare war on comfort the same way a ruler declares war on a rival kingdom, without hesitation, without emotion, without fear. You must become the kind of man who can sit with discomfort until it bends to your will. Comment: I choose discomfort to grow. Weak habits are born in comfort. They thrive when life is easy. They attach themselves to your desire for relief, for rest, for avoidance. And once they take root, they spread. So you must attack the source. You must reject the illusion that comfort is your friend. Your growth begins the moment you do what you do not want to do. Your strength begins the moment you silence the voice that tells you to take it easy. The world respects the man who resists comfort, not the one who submits to it. Every step into discomfort is a step into a stronger version of yourself. Comment: my mind grows under pressure. Machiavelli taught that power belongs to those who understand human nature, including their own. Your weakness is not random, it is predictable. Your mind will always choose the easiest path unless you train it otherwise. That is why discipline is not optional, it is mandatory. It is the weapon that cuts through emotional impulses and forces your life into alignment with your strategy. Do not wait for motivation. Motivation evaporates. Discipline endures. Discipline acts when the body resists and the mind protests. Discipline reminds you that you are shaping a legacy, not chasing temporary comfort. Comment below: I discipline myself into power. The rise of mental fortitude is not dramatic. It is subtle, steady, relentless. It shows up when you wake up on time, when you push through fatigue, when you resist distractions, when you deny the easy path and choose the path that builds you. These small victories accumulate until one day you realize you have become a man who cannot be broken by inconvenience or fear. You become someone whose standards intimidate your old self, someone whose strength inspires silence in others, someone who is hardened, sharpened, and prepared for whatever life brings. This is the essence of power, not loud, but unshakable. Comment: I rise through relentless self-control. Part 6. The mind that refuses to break, building an uncompromising inner empire. There comes a point in every man's life where he must decide who he is going to be, the product of his impulses or the architect of his destiny. Weak habits try to answer that question for you. They pull you toward the path of least resistance, the route of minimum effort, the road where most men walk because it demands nothing and returns nothing. A Machiavellian mind rejects this path entirely. It understands that power is not given to the man who seeks ease. Power belongs to the man who confronts himself with brutal honesty and reshapes his nature with deliberate force. Your inner empire is built not on dreams, but on decisions. Cold, disciplined decisions that redefine the borders of your potential. Comment: I build my empire within. Weak habits survive because you permit them to survive. They thrive in the corners of your day where you are unguarded, when you scroll without purpose, when you delay the tasks that matter, when you indulge the small impulses that seem harmless but collectively destroy your momentum. Your mind adapts to what you repeatedly allow. If you allow softness, it becomes your identity. If you allow strength, it becomes your nature. That is why the rise of an unbreakable man begins with awareness. You must map your weaknesses the way a ruler maps hostile lands. Know where they hide, know when they attack, know how they manipulate your emotions. Only then can you conquer them. Comment: I confront my weakness directly. To build an uncompromising inner empire, you must cultivate discipline that withstands both pressure and temptation. Discipline is not about perfection, it is about consistency. It is the willingness to show up on the days you feel powerful and the days you feel empty. It is your refusal to bend when life demands softness. It is the inner authority that commands your actions when your emotions attempt to negotiate. A Machiavellian mind does not ask, "Do I feel like it?" It asks, "Does this serve my throne?" If the answer is no, it is eliminated. If the answer is yes, it is executed without hesitation. This is how you train your mind to obey your ambitions instead of your impulses. Comment below: my will commands my actions. But an inner empire requires more than discipline. It requires vision. You must see the man you are becoming so clearly that your old habits feel incompatible with your future. Weak habits crumble when they collide with a powerful identity. Identity is destiny. When you declare, "I am a disciplined man," your actions begin to mirror that statement. When you declare, "I am a man of power," your decisions shift towards strength, not weakness. Speak your identity with conviction. Reinforce it with action. Protect it with discipline. The world bends to men who know exactly who they are becoming. Comment: I grow into the man I envision. Understand something crucial. An unbreakable mind is not created by avoiding hardship, but by confronting it. Pressure is your teacher. Difficulty is your trainer. Resistance is your forge. Do not run from struggle. Use it to strengthen the walls of your inner empire. Every challenge you face adds another stone. Every sacrifice adds another layer. Every victory, no matter how small, raises the height of the throne you are building. And in time, you become a man who does not fear adversity, but welcomes it, knowing it sharpens him into something rare. Comment: pressure turns me powerful. When you commit to this path, your old habits become irrelevant, too weak to coexist with the man you are sculpting. This is the evolution of power. This is the rise of your inner empire. Part 7. The ruthless evolution of a man who refuses to live weak. There is a version of you buried under years of hesitation, distraction, and softness. A version forged from clarity, discipline, and ruthless self-respect. A version that does not tolerate weak habits or emotional impulses. This version is not fictional. It is dormant. And the moment you decide to evolve, that version of you begins to rise. A Machiavellian mind understands that evolution is not gentle, it is violent. You must tear down the structures of weakness you have lived in. You must dismantle the excuses you have believed. You must kill the habits that have disguised themselves as comfort but have functioned as chains. Evolution requires destruction before it allows creation. Comment: I destroy who I was to become who I must be. To evolve, you must break the cycle that keeps weak men trapped, the cycle of waiting, wishing, and avoiding discomfort. Weak habits depend on these cycles to survive. They grow when you choose distraction over discipline. They strengthen when you surrender to comfort. They multiply when you allow your emotions to dictate your actions. A man who refuses to live weak sees these cycles for what they are, psychological traps designed by his own undisciplined mind. Breaking them requires a strategy. You must create routines that override impulsive behavior. You must build disciplines that act even when motivation is absent. Motivation is a guest, discipline is a ruler, and rulers do not negotiate with weakness. Comment: my discipline rules my life. Evolution also demands self-confrontation. Most men avoid themselves. They avoid their insecurities. They avoid their failures. They avoid the truth about their own habits. But a Machiavellian mindset seeks truth because truth reveals leverage. Truth reveals where you are losing power. Truth reveals where the weak habits hide. You cannot fix what you refuse to confront, so confront it all. The fear, the laziness, the inconsistency, the distraction. Lay your flaws on the table like weapons taken from an enemy. Study them, understand them, then strip them of their influence through calculated action. Awareness without action is cowardice. Awareness with execution is transformation. Comment: I confront myself to rise. But evolution is not only internal, it is structural. You must design a life that reinforces strength and suffocates weakness. Weak habits cannot survive in an environment built for growth. Remove the triggers that lead you toward distraction. Remove the people who support your softness. Remove the routines that waste your potential. Replace them with structure, challenge, clarity, and purpose. The man who evolves builds systems that force him to grow, even when his emotions resist. Systems protect you from your old self. Systems carry you through the days when your willpower is low. Systems are how powerful men maintain progress when average men collapse. Comment below: I design systems that make me unstoppable. Understand something profound. Evolution is lonely. The world fears the man who rises because he exposes what others refuse to change. When you evolve, people will say you are different. Good. You are supposed to be. They will say you are distant. Good. Your destiny requires distance from weakness. They will say you have changed. Good. Remaining the same is death. You are not here to stay familiar. You are here to become formidable. Weak habits die when you no longer recognize the man who once entertained them. The stronger you become, the more alien your old life feels. This is not isolation, it is elevation. And with evolution comes a shift in identity. When you begin acting like a disciplined man, you stop seeing yourself as ordinary. When you stop tolerating weakness, you start expecting strength. Identity shapes action, and action shapes destiny. Declare who you are becoming. Claim it with your behavior. Protect it with your discipline. A Machiavellian mind does not wait for the world to validate him. He validates himself through relentless evolution. Comment: I evolve with ruthless intention. By choosing to evolve, you enter a rare category of men: the builders, the strategists, the disciplined, the unstoppable. Weak habits cannot exist in the presence of a man who rises daily with purpose. And once evolution begins, it does not stop until your life reflects your inner power. This is how you become untouchable. This is how you rise above weakness. This is how you transform into the man you were always meant to be. Part 8. The cold reinvention of a man who commands his own nature. Reinvention is not a poetic transformation. It is a cold, calculated demolition of the man you allowed yourself to become. Weak habits shaped him. Doubt directed him. Comfort softened him. He was built by impulse, not intention. A Machiavellian mind looks at that man with zero nostalgia. Reinvention requires that you detach from your past identity and rebuild yourself with the precision of a strategist designing a kingdom. This is the stage where most men fail, not because change is impossible, but because they cling to behaviors that no longer serve their ambition. If you want to command your own nature, you must become willing to burn everything that made you soft. Comment: I burn my weakness to rebuild my power. A man reinvents himself by mastering 3 domains: thought, behavior, and identity. Thought is the architect. Behavior is the executioner. Identity is the throne where both must kneel. Weak habits distort these domains. They poison your thoughts with excuses, your behavior with avoidance, and your identity with doubt. Reinvention begins by interrupting these patterns. Every time you think, "I'll do it later," respond with action. Every time you feel resistance, move twice as hard. Every time you slip into an old identity, speak the new one into existence. Reinvention is repetition, relentless repetition of the man you intend to become. Comment: I repeat strength until it becomes me. But reinvention also demands emotional detachment. Weak men allow feelings to dictate their discipline. Strong men treat emotions as data, not commands. The Machiavellian mind understands that emotions are unreliable advisors. They exaggerate obstacles and weaken resolve. You must create distance between what you feel and what you do. When you feel tired, execute. When you feel uncertain, plan. When you feel overwhelmed, simplify. Your emotions are loud, but your mission must be louder. Detachment is not numbness, it is mastery. It is the ability to operate with clarity while others drown in their impulses. Comment: my emotions follow my mission. Reinvention is also environmental. Weak habits thrive in spaces designed for comfort. If your environment is chaotic, your mind becomes chaotic. If your surroundings encourage distraction, your ambition becomes diluted. A man reinventing himself must build an environment that reflects his new standards. Remove access to time-wasting triggers. Replace passive routines with intentional structure. Surround yourself with objects, habits, and reminders that reinforce discipline. A king designs his castle, so it strengthens his rule. You must design your life, so it strengthens your evolution. Your reinvention will disturb people, not because you have become arrogant, but because your growth exposes their stagnation. They preferred the older version of you, the one who tolerated nonsense, shared their softness, and never demanded more from himself. When you rise, they lose the comfort of your similarity. Expect resistance, expect judgment, expect distance. This is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that you are finally stepping into power. Reinvention requires social shedding, the release of relationships that are incompatible with your next level. Comment below: I outgrow what weakens me. The man you are creating is not built through motivational bursts. He is engineered through structure, through clarity, through the silent repetition of difficult choices. Reinvention is the art of eliminating everything that dilutes your purpose and amplifying everything that strengthens it. When you accept this, you stop waiting for transformation and begin enforcing it. Reinvention is not something you feel your way into. It is something you command. Understand this truth. Your nature is programmable. You are not fixed. You are not doomed to remain who you were last year, last month, or even yesterday. A Machiavellian mind exploits this truth. It rewires itself when necessary. Reinvention is sustained by discipline, protected by boundaries, and fueled by an unshakable vision. Declare your new identity until it becomes undeniable. Behave like the man you envision until it feels natural. Continue rising until your old self becomes unrecognizable. Comment: I reinvent myself with ruthless intention. This is how a man commands his own nature. This is how weak habits die. This is how true power begins. Part 9. The Final Purge. Eliminating the habits that silence your power. There comes a moment in every man's ascent when he must perform the final purge. The cold, merciless elimination of the habits that continue to drag him back into mediocrity. These habits are not loud anymore. They are subtle, strategic, and deeply embedded. They pretend to be harmless. They disguise themselves as breaks, rewards, stress relief, and I'll get back on track tomorrow. But a Machiavellian mind sees through these disguises. It recognizes that the smallest weak habit can sabotage the greatest strategy if left unchecked. The final purge is not about improvement, it is about domination. It is about reclaiming the throne inside your own mind. Comment: I purge every weakness from my life. Weak habits survive because you still allow them a seat at your table. You entertain them, you excuse them. You tell yourself they're not that serious. But every small act of weakness is a seed that grows into a forest of regret. If you want to become a man who is untouchable, undeniable, and unbreakable, you must remove these habits with surgical precision. This requires brutal honesty. You must evaluate your routines, your triggers, your choices, your distractions, and your emotional patterns with the cold calculation of a strategist. Do not soften the truth. Do not sugarcoat your shortcomings. Every habit that weakens your mind is an enemy to be executed. Comment: I see my weakness clearly. The purge requires a new level of discipline, one that goes beyond consistency and enters the realm of identity. You cannot eliminate weak habits if you still see yourself as a man who entertains them. You must become someone who does not tolerate softness in any form. Someone who acts even when tired. Someone who chooses purpose over pleasure. Someone whose standards are so high that weak habits cannot survive in his presence. This shift begins with declaration, but it is proven through execution. Declare who you are becoming, then behave in alignment with that declaration until it becomes reality. A Machiavellian mind understands that identity is the foundation of discipline. When you believe you are a powerful man, you act like one, and when you act like one, weak habits lose their influence. But the purge also requires strategy. You cannot eliminate weakness through willpower alone. You must design systems that support your rise. Remove access to distractions. Replace time-wasting routines with purposeful structure. Identify the triggers that lead you to old behavior and ruthlessly eliminate them. Strong men do not rely on motivation. They rely on systems that carry them forward even when motivation disappears. Build an environment where weakness suffocates and strength thrives. Build routines that make growth automatic. Build boundaries that protect your focus like a king protects his kingdom. Comment below: I build systems that guarantee my rise. The most dangerous weak habits are the ones that feel comfortable. Comfort blinds you. It convinces you that you are doing enough when you are performing far below your potential. The purge forces you to confront this. It forces you to admit that you have accepted too little from yourself. It forces you to erase the excuses that once felt reasonable. This is painful, but necessary. Growth often feels like loss because you are shedding parts of yourself that cannot follow you into your next level. Weak habits cannot survive the version of you that is emerging. And understand this: the purge will test your resolve. Old habits will attempt to return. Your emotions will resist the discipline you impose. People around you will question your intensity, but this is proof that you are on the correct path. Weak habits do not go quietly, they fight back. But you must fight harder. You must remind yourself daily who you are becoming and why you refuse to return to the man you once were. Comment: I rise beyond my old patterns. The final purge is the threshold between who you were and who you are destined to become. Once you cross it, weak habits lose their power. Once you commit, your mind becomes sharper, your discipline becomes stronger, your identity becomes unshakable. This is where true transformation begins, not with motivation, but with elimination, not with inspiration, but with execution. The purge is your declaration that nothing weak will survive within you. This is how you become unstoppable. This is how you silence weakness forever.